Silence is an interesting thing. For me, sometimes when things are just crazy in the world or just so busy, having just a moment of silence can be so peaceful and so powerful. Or when things have just been crazy in my life or been around lots and lots and lots of people constantly, even for this radical extrovert, sometimes having a little silence can bring a profound amount of peace. But when I want to talk to my mom, who died 24 years ago, even though I've found new ways to connect in different ways and know that next existence is there and know that I can continue to be in connection with her in very powerful ways, when I want to talk to her, that silence is painful. And when I call out to God or to Jesus, because I see an injustice or something that I desperately want to have happen or need, and I hear it can be deeply disconcerting, deeply disappointing. Can anybody here relate to any of that? Have you ever been in that situation where so many people around, so much going on, all you want is just a little silence? Just a little silence with all the noise in the world or right around you, or just even if it's good stuff, you just need a little silence, and I can give you peace, or that person that you just want to talk to. But and you have something, you're like, this is wrong, God, Jesus, will you just do so? How long? And you hear me too. Jesus' friends too. You're not alone in that. We are together in that, and that is powerful. But there's something else that we all share, and Jesus knew as well, and that is death changes everything except love. Death changes everything except love. Turn to the scriptures today and see what the Word has in store for us today. We're reading from the Gospel according to John, chapter 11, verses 32 through 36, which is just a portion of the story of the raising of Lazarus. And it starts, when Mary came where Jesus was and saw him, she knelt at his feet. Now, I want to explain who this Mary is, because it's not Mary, the mother of Jesus. This is Mary, who's the sister of Lazarus. This is Mary, and this is the second of 3 times she will be at Jesus' feet on her knees. A little while ago, there was a story, because she's also the sister of Martha. And some of you may know the story of Martha and Mary, and Jesus and the disciples show up at their house because Lazarus and Martha and Mary are some of Jesus' very best friends in the whole world. They live right near Jerusalem, and Jesus has known them for years and years and years and years, some of his very, very best friends. And Jesus and the disciples show up, and Martha's scrambling around and trying to get things for them, and Mary's just like right at Jesus' feet listening to his words. Martha's like, Jesus, tell Mary to help me. Jesus like, Martha, slow down. Take a moment. Go ahead and join your sister. She is taking that moment to listen to what is important, to slow down and listen to what is most important as I am speaking these words to teach you about how your life can be. But now she is at his knees for a different reason. But there is another time, just one chapter later, Mary will be at his feet breaking a special ointment over Jesus and drying his feet with her hair. A year's salary worth of ointment taking care of Jesus. This is that Mary. Mary came and saw him and knelt at his feet and said, Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not be dead. We called for you. We called you, and you did not come. Jesus, we let you know. Earlier in the story, they had let Jesus know, and Jesus didn't get her. Jesus, you helped all kinds of people. We know you can do it. Why didn't you help us? I watched my brother's last breath. Where were you? Where were you between those breaths as he was gasping? We called for you. We sent for you. Where were you? Jesus feels that from Mary, someone he profoundly loves, and Lazarus, one of his closest friends. And it says he was so moved, and Jesus began to weep. There are only 2 times in Scripture where Jesus is said to do this. Here, and on Palm Sunday, when he's coming over and realizes that the people don't actually understand who he is, and he cries over Jerusalem. And why does he cry? Here. People can try to spin it any way you want. You can get all sophisticated on books of theology. He cried because he was sad. Why do we make it more complicated sometimes? Jesus cried because he was sad. He was sad that his friend died. He was sad that his friends were hurting. And he knew he was going to raise him. Jesus knew he was going to raise him, and he was still sad. Because Jesus knows you don't skip that part. You can't skip that part. Jesus didn't say, hey, don't worry about it. He's in heaven now. He's in a better place. It's all good. You don't have to be sad. No, Jesus is crying, and the people say, see how he loved him. In the grief, in the crying, that is how they saw that he loved them. And he didn't say, cheer up, because Jesus honors grief. He honors the pain because Jesus knows this, that grief isn't a failure of faith. Grief is an act of love. The grief and the sadness. When we have that space when the person has taken that last breath, but before they have taken that next one in the next life, that there is that sadness, there is that grief. And for us, that continues on for a long time because Jesus knows that grief is what love looks like. When the person isn't there and there's nowhere else for the love to go. Grief isn't a lack of faith. It's an act of love when there's nowhere else for love to go. All Saints' Day, Dia de los Muertos, honor that tradition. Honor that act of Jesus saying, yes, it is okay to still be grieved. It is okay to be sad and still know that the person's okay. Still know that person is in the loving arms of a living Jesus and a living God and a living Spirit, and still honor that with whatever spirit you are at that stage. Whether it's still sadness or it is anger or you've gone beyond that, it is just a memory and a smile. So wherever you are in that stage, know that Jesus feels that, has felt that, and honors that.